Back. Oh, forgot. Let me change that back. What's going on, everyone? I'm back. I'm back home. I've been away from the show for what, a month now?
Yeah.
Yeah, a month. Y'all been
I've been on the show more times than you have this past month. I'm not saying something.
Yeah. I have not been on. I have been, let's see, to 2 MLS matches, drunk in Charleston, fell asleep on King Street, drunk in Charlotte. Yeah, it's been a pretty eventful month. How have you guys been?
Pretty good.
I was going to say, I got COVID. That wasn't fun, but otherwise good.
Kyle, did you put the kids up for adoption based on last night's results?
No, I just went and made a banana bread at 9 p.m. and it turned out perfectly fine. That I decided to make a banana bread.
Is that your stress reliever? Making banana bread?
Honestly, it was very soothing. Like after I put my phone down after I fire off my tweets and messages, I put my phone down, I made the bread. And
so were you like angry Grant Wall tweeting? Or were you like more calm and like, it's a good game?
It was frustration. Like, it was not as bad as last year's Henny Derby finale bad. But it was frustrating. It was frustrating. I'll give it that.
All right.
It was one of those where it's like, I can fire off some tweets, and I know, like, by the morning I'll be okay, but, like, right now, I should just stop tweeting.
And Brandon, hello as always there, my good man.
Hello.
How are the stats coming? How are the stats of USL League 1 coming out with the limited resources that the league gives us?
They're great. I mean, they're looking good. Everybody is doing their thing. It's ridiculous kind of how even everything feels right now. And, I mean, it's crazy. Just all of the things that were happening last year, you look at some of the numbers, and, like, a lot of the numbers for some teams are the same. And then all of these other teams have suddenly just jumped ahead of them because everything's gotten so much tougher in this league. So it's pretty wild to see how from year to year things are getting crazier and crazier in this league. So
yeah, we seem to always talk about like year to year how things shift and progress, but it always feels like one thing is consistent. Tucson is going to shoot themselves in the foot mid-season and then go on a glorious run near the end.
Yeah, we still have time.
It's about time. It's a little.
I was going to say they're going to have to do it at some point. Like they're running out of time to do it.
Like they made the tweet and everything. We're like, all right, like
it's time.
What's going to happen?
Well, they played the same number of games as Omaha.
Okay.
Look, if they figure out how to win at home, then they're onto something.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. If they can win at home, but. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. We got last week's games to talk about. We got this week's upcoming games to talk about. We have, some USL League 1 news to talk about. Possible Coach of the Year talk about. Possible USL Starting League 111. It's a lot to talk about, guys. But let's go ahead. Let's start off with Friday. Ain't shit to talk about. It was 0-0. Game was dog shit. No one really did anything progressive or good. So let's move on to Saturday. Let's move on to the games that really were good, really piqued the interest of everyone, league and across the nation. Starting off with Richmond, 3-1 against FC Tucson. Richmond gets the clean sweep over FC Tucson. Tucson ends another game with a red card in Richmond. Guys, let's talk about this. What led Richmond over this win?
Terzaghi basically just decided, I'm going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I have said it, and I will say it again. Terzaghi is probably the best record in USL League 1 at the in-between, like, how can I put this? Like, these diagonal parallel runs in between center backs where he can just like split center backs and like beat somebody to the near post. Like he is the best striker in
There was that
USL. Huh?
goal, the first, I think it was his first goal. That was like some straight up Benzema movement. Like he did like 3 cutbacks and then he was just free and clear. Like
Right.
what in the world? You can't do that in this league. What is he doing?
Right. That's why I think what makes him so dangerous is like it's his off the ball movement, because then he just finds himself in space, and as long as if he has some space, he's gonna get a shot off and it's probably gonna go in. And that's the thing that is such a tough thing about him, which is why like when he is not involved in the game, it's like, what is this defense doing? And most of the time it's just, we're just gonna put like 3 guys on him and just make sure that he's not gonna get free. But
that's literally what it is. And the crazy thing is, like, I think we have to talk about it. Fc Tucson's first goal was, wow, it was good. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you just get beat by a good goal,
bro.
But after that goal, after the 20th minute mark, I don't know what happened to Fc Tucson. It's like they just lost all composure, and I really think it probably started with the goal from Ethan van der Decker. And I don't think we've talked about that move from NoCo to Richmond, but the goal that he had, and I sat like at the I guess you could call it the 50, but the bend on that ball that he made for that first goal was good, and it just seemed like after that it was like Richmond has their held up high, and Tucson was just like, here we go again.
Yeah. Well, and they had a new system too, which I think made it even tougher. You know, like you're playing a new system against, one of the newer system against probably the most offensively powerful team in the league, and you're doing well and even get ahead, and then all of a sudden you realize that none of that matters at all because Richmond's still going to score on you.
No, and this is the thing about it. It wasn't as if like, I understand they're playing a new system, but it's just like tactically, like FC Tucson is just very poor. And I don't want to attribute this to the missing Charlie Dennis and Shaq Adams, who oddly enough is back in USL League 1. Like, he cannot leave this league. It can't be the loss of 2 guys that FC Tucson is just nosedive like this. I mean, granted, they also lost the quarter Bar Nathan and some other players, but it just seemed like you lose these 2 guys, and it's like your whole team just nosedive. What's going on?
It was interesting because I feel like they were doing relatively fine defensively. Like they kept their shape, and then it seemed like after their goal is when it really just started falling apart defensively. Like that's when they just weren't getting as many tackles. That's when they weren't getting as many blocks or clearances. It kind of felt like all of a sudden it was like, okay, they're just not winning these battles. They're not doing anything. They're not intercepting passes. They're not winning battles. They're just kind of getting ran all over the place. And then you look at Richmond, and it's like the opposite. It's like Richmond allowed the goal, and then it's like, okay, we're going to tighten things up defensively. We're going to get these clearances. We're going to get these balls. We're not going to allow these clear-cut chances. We're going to make sure that we're going to keep them out of the box as much as possible. And I think that was kind of the weird part about it, was like Richmond kind of decided like, okay, we're going to make sure to reduce it. While with Tucson, it was like they got the goal and then almost felt like, okay, wait, we're not used to this. Like, now what? Like, now what do we do?
Yeah.
Now it probably defending the near post twice.
Yeah.
That would probably help.
And then
we ready to say, Brandon, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say that I felt like, Master Antonio also, I mean, he was so far out on that. What goal was it? The second? Might have been the second goal by Terzaghi. But like he got so aggressive in man marking. I mean, he was like popping out of the back line. And then that's why was it Bentley? No, it must have been Van Decker who was able to just run past him. And the I guess it was Tyler Moss was trying to figure out where to position himself. And so that whole area was just a mess and just left so much open space for Terzaghi to make that run and do the Terzaghi things that he does that are really annoying.
Right. Absolutely right. Well, once again, guys, Terzaghi, this is a surprise to no one. First striker in USL League 1 history to reach the 40-goal mark. I'm safe to assume that it's saying that Terzaghi stays with Richmond for another 2 years, a 5-year point, he's probably known as the greatest striker in USL League One history.
I mean, he's probably already at that point now.
He is that. He is that.
Well, a game that all Richmond fans were waiting for, because with this win, we were temporarily in first place. A game that was delayed 2 hours because of thunderstorms, which July's been a weird ball for U.S. soccer. There's been a lot of thunderstorms delaying and stopping games, especially in the Carolinas where, Brandon, you know, soccer was just made.
We created it.
Yeah, and they were a little bit scared because Chattanooga decided, well, Jimmy's not here. Let's go out here, score 6, but give Greenville 1.
No, you don't have to. Why'd you do that?
It was only 5. Like, it was only 5.
Yeah,
we're still
one goal away from OG's territory. At least 1 goal, if not 2.
Yeah, we were there, and this is the crazy thing. So, like, I left the Kickers game, and I was like, all right, Chattanooga Greenville ain't kicking off to 9:30. I'm gonna go hang out with my family. When I leave there, like, I'll try to watch the game. I left there at like 11:30. I look at my phone, it says Chattanooga 5, Greenville 1, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, nah, football bullshit. What is this? this that right? Brandon, my good man, what happened? It seems like every time y'all play Richmond, y'all decide, you know what? Let's just give up 5 real quick. That's been the trend.
I think I don't know. It's one of those freak games. I say that we've had like 2 or 3 freak games now, but like I feel like both weather delay games have just been really bad for us. Like there's just been something I felt off about, kind of like the whole vibe of the game. From the Triumph perspective, both times we've had a weather delay. And then also so a lot of it was just freak stuff. I mean, one thing that I noticed a lot, though, was that Chattanooga were really aggressive on throw-ins. I mean, they were man marking and then even creating, like, they had like more people when they were defending throw-ins than we had offensively, right? And so in the first minute, that first goal, I mean, it was off of a turnover on a throw-in. They turned the ball over in their half after a throw-in, carried it all the way down the field because they had a space between the midfield and the defense, and I thought it was a corner, but it was a throw-in. I rewatched it the other day. It's a throw-in, and then, of course, none of the goals were normal either, though. Like, every Chattanooga goal was like, here, let me shoot from 35 yards out, and it's going to curl perfectly into the very bottom corner or top corner of the net, or I'm going to rainbow it until like it basically like grazes the crossbar and falls in. So there was also some excellent finishing from Chattanooga, but it was just a really weird night. It's a really weird night.
Well, it was also just weird because it felt like, and we were saying this before we recorded, with like Jamie Smith's positioning was just so much deeper, which then allowed Chattanooga to just bring the ball constantly to them. And I was looking at the average positions just off of the map on the website, and it's like, it's such an unbalanced back line. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any consistency. Like, you have Tyler Pollock, whose average positions past the midfield point. You have I'm trying to think of who else. You had Nate Schultz, who was kind of a little bit deeper, and then you had Jamie Smith, like, way deep. And then on Chattanooga, you have Ray Ortiz pretty much outside of Greenville's like box. It was just staggering just how unbalanced it really did feel for them. And I think a lot of that was Chattanooga just decided, we're going to attack that specific side because we don't have to worry about, having a defender. We don't have to worry about that. That's kind of like where I think the second goal is. They just brought it up on the right side, though, which was shocking. But because of how imbalanced it was just like a simple, okay, just put in a cross, ball comes across perfectly fine. It's like, that's an easy goal. So that was probably like the one wonder goal that Chattanooga did. It was just like, they just built it. They just had good build-up play. So it just felt like Greenville was Greenville lost the midfield battle to Chattanooga, which was kind of shocking just because of how Greenville was positioned. It didn't make sense how that could have happened, but it just felt like between Evans, Smart, and Walker, they were too compact. Well, Chattanooga just decided to go out wide.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I thought it was, I mean, yeah, everything was pretty narrow, but I thought what was really interesting, I thought
and Greenville almost equalized like going into halftime. Like it's not like Greenville, like it wasn't until the second half that the wheels really fell off for Greenville.
That's the part I want to focus more on. Is like the first half seemed like a typical Chattanooga Greenville matchup. Like if you told me like Greenville Chattanooga is playing, you took that first half, I would have thought like, all right, I'm just watching a 45-minute condensed version of a full game.
Mm-hmm.
The second half is where I have more questions, and more so because it is not the number of goals that were scored, but it's the way how they were scored. Like it just didn't feel as if like defensively Greenville was assured in themselves.
Mm-hmm. No, and I think a lot of it was just mistakes. I mean, like so for example, Jamie Smith. Yeah, I thought he was a little deep, but overall, I mean, like his passing. I mean, what he provides from the back line. If you watch some of the passing that he had that night, it was incredible, right? Like he's an incredible passer of the ball. And I thought he actually did a really good job when he was engaging with Galindrez. I thought he did a really good job of engaging him and marshaling him and kind of keeping him honest. It was just when, like you said, Ray Ortiz, and I thought the forward line was really aggressive. And when you don't have people who are playing together as often, it's really hard to be as brave, right? It's really hard to be brave when you don't necessarily have as much chemistry as a normal Greenville back line was. And that's going to happen, right? It was just, again, I think it was kind of like the Tormenta game, like just mistakes. You don't look at the game and you see like really poor defending in general. You see like the ball came off someone's foot wrong and Rafael Menzigan was in the exact perfect position to pick that ball up, carry it forward. Too much chaos in the box for the defense, and then he just lobs it over, right? I guess he was unmarked in the box for that corner as well. Off the rebound, off the post, off the crossbar, just unmarked, and got a good shot off. It wasn't even really a tough shot. It was just a low shot through people's legs and really hard to see because the box was crowded. So, I mean, again, it's one of those things where I really felt like watching that game, it could have easily have been 3-3. I thought Greenville did great on the ball. I thought we were pretty aggressive, even at some points in the midfield. Aaron Walker was making runs forward and was positioning pretty high for a lot of the first half and into the second half a little bit. But man, it was just shooting ourselves in the foot kind of thing, time and time again.
Well, seems like Greenville shot themselves in the foot, but a team that seemed to have shot themselves in the foot after beating you guys, and the team that beat them made a horrible joke. Like, I don't understand where Noko thinks Bonk the Ibis is a pelican. That's a whole different story for a different day. But Noko 2, Tormenta 0. Guys, also, Ian Cameron just got named Coach of the Month. What was it? 13 points
for July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for July. Yeah. Tormenta, what's going on with this game? How did things play out here?
This was a weird game because after the red card in the Tucson game, I was like, okay, I don't need to really pay attention to this anymore. And then Greenville and Chattanooga was delayed, so I was like, oh, okay. Right then, Tormenta and Noko was starting. I was like, okay, I'll put this on. And it was just weird because it felt like, I mean, Tormenta had a chance like halfway through, sometime around the 20th or 30th minute. And they had the shot. It went off the crossbar, comes back to them. Keeper makes the save. It was just like they just could not get a break. Like that was really the big thing with Tormenta is they were creating the chances against Noko. Noko, other than pretty much giving the ball to, I'm trying to think of who it was. I think it was Norman.
Oh, yeah.
It was basically give the ball to Norman and say, okay, go do something. And it was like, that was constantly the game plan for NoCo. It wasn't really much that they could have done. So it was just like, that was kind of the situation. It was like the first 20-ish minutes, it was kind of even. And then Tormenta was kind of the better team from like minute 20 to halftime. Yeah. But then after that, it was like the second half was, again, kind of getting back to even. And the 2 goals, it's like one was just good shot, is what it is. Like, you can't be too upset about that. But I don't know. It just felt like Chattanooga almost kind of went in like, I don't know what we're supposed to have done. Like, I don't know, like, what we could have done. Because, like, the first NoCo goal is just like a cluster. It's a scramble in the box. Falls to Rogers. He scores it. Yeah.
Brandon, the second goal. Oh, there you go.
I was just about to say, like, the second goal was definitely you know what? Let's just shoot the ball, and Yara saves it, and there's a dude just completely unmarked. Just completely unmarked. And then whatever. Like, I just feel like Tormenta just got to the second half. Was like, I don't know what we could have done.
Yeah. That's what it really felt like. Also, Kyle, I apologize. I cut you off. I was too ready to ask Brandon a question about Arthur Rogers. And is Arthur Rogers Damian Viader 2.0? Because it seems like it is happening all over again.
He's so good. He is so ridiculously good. I mean, I made the joke that he was like the Trent Alexander-Arnold of USL League 1. I mean, the dude, his passing range is incredible. Fun fact about him that I learned not too long ago, that he was actually he played indoor for a long time. And so
that makes a lot of sense.
Like he is incredible at close control and just driving with the ball. And I mean, it's clear they want to use him as their outlet. I mean, it's literally like
attacking mid playing left back.
Yeah, it's literally like watching Alexander-Arnold play for Liverpool. It's incredible.
It was honestly when NoCo played in Madison, I think a couple weeks ago, it got to the point where Madison just stopped trying to attack that side because they're like, we can't get past this guy, so we're just gonna attack the other side and hope that and make sure that NoCo just doesn't get him the ball. Like, it got to that point.
The game against Richmond that we had up there, like when we played them, I was like, yo, we walked out that game with a thievery because the way how Rogers was going and Admin could not score to save his life. I don't know how Rogers walked out there, but we're focusing on this game. Arthur Rogers with a goal, Brett Evans with a goal.
Rogers with the assist for that goal.
Right. I want to focus a little bit on NoCo and how much is the lack of a home stadium hindering them? Because it seems like this is the team that should be in that 4, 5, 6 range in the playoffs right now, and they're kind of sitting out at third of the playoffs.
I do think the lack of having a settled home has thrown them off just because you're constantly on the road. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not playing in, I don't know where they train, but I'm sure where they're training is not in the same as where they're playing their home games. And you have 3 different home venues. You have a more or less a high school rec thing, whatever, for your first couple. Okay, whatever. That was going to be until your stadium's not done, and you're playing at this giant college football stadium. That throws you off. Still not ready. So then now you're at this high school stadium, and I think just the constant rotation, it's like you're not able to really settle. You're not able to kind of get your footing for these home games. And we knew that with them having such a road-heavy schedule, that could have been a potential hindrance for them. So I think now that they know they're going to be at this particular stadium for the rest of the year, that might help them turn it around. But I do think like them not having a settled home stadium all year has been a issue because, the talent is too good to not be. I mean, right now they're out of the playoff picture. Granted, it's not that much. Saying they're not in the playoff picture isn't saying much, but based on the talent, they should be doing better.
Mm-hmm. Currently, right now, they are tied for third in home games remaining. Yokohama is 1 with 6. We all know why. Then you have Fc Tucson with 8. Central Valley Fuego, Ford Madison, NoCo all sitting on 9. So they have some time to kind of get used to playing in Severance, which is a high school soccer field, which the sun glare sucks. But at least they got a home game for the next couple of times coming up, and that should be fun, right?
Consistency. It'll be.
Yeah.
It'll be. I mean, they have the highest XG in the league right now. I mean, they're creating for fun, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, there was what was it? The game? What game did they play? Was it against Madison? No, it wasn't against Madison. Who did they play? It was Richmond, where like literally Trevor Amon created like what could have been 5 goals by himself and could not
by himself. And to this day, I still do not understand how Richmond walked out of a road game to win
that way. Yeah, I mean,
well, the goal that they wanted on was
just ridiculous.
It was kind of like a carbon copy of just like of Madison's goal. It was like, I'm just gonna shoot it towards the net and hope for the best, and it works out.
Yeah,
right. Right. Well, we move on to the last game tonight, and the team that's wishing to be home, and their fans will complain if they don't have more home games, but that's what happens.
But then also complain about the atmosphere of said home game.
Right. And that's what happens when you complain about making it to the quarterfinals of a U.S. Open Cup and being in the top 3 of USL home game performance. But everything's wrong at home, folks. And also, fraudulently enough, signed Corey Hodzik, who I still want to put in tampering charge. That I was shocked you guys did not talk about that. That was so goddamn tampering.
I think that happened literally like the day after we recorded, I believe. Like, I feel like that one happened like we recorded, we had the show, and then it happened like the next day, and we're like, wait, what?
Tim's not on here to defend himself, so I will slaughter his name into the streets of hell. That was tampering because Harvard Athletic put out a post. It was like, we have released Corey Hodzik. Not transferred, not sold, released. And then 30 minutes later, Corey Hodzik and Union Omaha have a joint post of, I have signed to Union Omaha to come win a championship because of the championship mentality. 30 minutes.
Oh, they've been talking about that for weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Tampering. He is under contract. Tampering. I'm calling tampering charges. No one will probably listen to me though, but I'm calling them. Okay.
I was gonna say that. Good luck trying to get someone to investigate that, but
good luck.
Well, I mean, the league got a whole bunch else to investigate. Right now, we got Central Valley Fuego nil, Union Omaha 1. Guys, I feel like it should go to the joint saying now 1-0 to the Union Omaha. Because that's what it feels like what it is for these guys. If it's not a draw, it's a 1-0. And Union Omaha got the most games in hand. Do we see a weird possibility where Union Omaha is like, yeah, we just gonna take this top 2 spot and call it a day?
They're gonna end up top 2 with 15 draws for sure.
I was gonna say they can definitely, if they don't draw the rest of the way, like they're currently on an unbeaten run. At some point, the attack's going to do better, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it can't continue to be this. I remember when Ford Madison, I think it was 2 years ago, Keith and I would say turgid. And that felt like what Union Omaha's attack has been. It's just been very turgid. It's getting results. It got the result. Granted, it took Nuhu saving a penalty. That was a terrible penalty, by the way. I don't know what the fuck that guy was thinking at Fuego. But they got the win. And you know what? You get a couple wins. Not losing is going to go a very good ways for them. But that's going to be one of those where it might get them top 2, but they really need to get that attack going if they want to be a serious contender, like the team to beat. Because the defense is there. The defense is there.
Well, and that's because their defending is like an incredible unit, right? Like, it's not like last year where Omaha's always defending as a unit. That's just kind of how they do things. But like, I just feel like this year they're so much deeper. It's so much harder to break out of, kind of that deep block and get into some more aggressive moments. And so they're going to have to, hopefully Louis Gill and Corey Herzog and Cristiano Ronaldo, whoever else they signed, under contract.
Tampering charges.
Maybe Marcus Rashford at this rate.
Yeah, why not?
Just send the whole Man United front line. They're not doing dog shit anyway.
It couldn't hurt. Um, yeah, I really think that. I mean, honestly, even without that, if they keep grinding out 1-0 wins, I mean, they're going to end up. They're already on track. I think I saw Chip's thing. It's like they're on track for third right now or second, something ridiculous.
Yeah, it does feel that way. And this is the thing. Union Omaha fans, we love y'all, but y'all complain about absolutely nothing. So far, last 8 games, you've gotten 3 wins and 5 draws. I think any team in USL League One would trade with that in a heartbeat.
Like getting a draw in Greenville, getting a draw in Madison, like they were getting like some of these games were like tough matches as well.
Right.
The toughest matches they'll play all year.
Right.
Right.
Because this is what's left on Union Omaha's schedule. Now, this is the thing. Things do get congested, so we do have to start looking at that. But I think that's why Jay Mims picked up Lewis Gill from Valley United FC, which is a dumpster fire. Picked up Corey Hotzik in a tampering charge.
Yep, obviously.
Off of Athletic. So he's bringing in attackers, but next 3 games are at home. But they have 3 games in 7. NOCO, Charlotte, and the NCFC. You got Richmond on the road. Then you come back home for a 2-game stint in another 3 games in 7 weeks with at home against Madison and Chattanooga. Then you turn around a week later on a Sunday, go to Tucson, play there. Then you have to fly back to Union Omaha for Wednesday to play Richmond at home, Greenville at home, then fly out to go play NOCO, then fly back.
Then they get a break
to play NCFC. Then come home. Last 2 matches against Tormenta and Central Valley Fuego.
I mean, that's what happens when you have this cup run. Like, getting the cup run is both a blessing and a curse, just because, you make this cup run, and it was a good cup run, but then all those games in hand start piling out, and 3 games in having 3 games in 7 days consistently. On the one hand, that's good momentum. It keeps you guys sharp. It can, but with the travel aspect of it, like that is going to be brutal. Like I'm looking at that stretch where it's like they go to Tucson, have to fly back, play Richmond at home, and then get Greenville at home. That's a brutal stretch. Granted, if they do what they need to against Tucson, they can at least probably take their foot off the gas early enough to, preserve the legs. But no, that stretch at the end of mid-September is really, I think, what will separate Omaha from either being a 1, 2, 3 seed and maybe fighting for playoffs.
I would say the key part, we're going to talk about this later, but I feel like the key part for Union Omaha is really September 11th, FC Tucson, all the way to September 8th, we're tormented. That stretch there, if you could get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you could get anywhere from 3 to 4 wins, second place, I feel like is theirs. Anything less than that, now we're talking kind of like 4 or 5, borderline 6. Yeah, I feel like it. I would just ask this question, throw this out there. Do we see a possibility in which Union Omaha craps the bed and don't make the playoffs?
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. If their attack can't get it together, yeah.
And honestly, it seems like no one's and this is not disrespect to Omaha in any way, shape, or form. They're in what, 4th place right now with
they're
3
in
games.
5th with still 2 games in hand on Tormenta, who's ahead of them by a point.
Yeah, no one's scared of them, if that makes sense. Like if you look at, and this is just purely off the data, right? Like last year, Omaha was getting pressured about people allowed Omaha to make 11 actions or passes per time they basically engaged them in a tackle or a clearance or something like that. This year, it's like 8. Like there are 3 less passes per defensive action. So like everybody is just aggressively pressing Omaha because they're not afraid of Greg Hurst getting in behind. They're not afraid of Devin Boyce, or they're not afraid of getting beat by Villader. I mean, so they've got to find a way to make people afraid again. I think that's the big key, is that people aren't afraid of them because they know they're going to sit deep and they know that it's going to be tough to get out of whatever they're in, that deep block they're in. And so they have to find a way to make people afraid of them.
Well, and I was going to say, like, it's just if they can get Herzog and Gill to help that attack, that would be significant because Union Omaha has and granted, again, they have 2 games less than most of the teams around them, but they are 4th from the bottom in terms of shot for. They are 2nd to last in terms of XG, goals for. Like, the attack is really the thing that's going to hold them back, and they're actually overachieving based off of their XG. So, like, that's also a concern. It's like, you're gonna, like, I don't know if the goals, I mean, I wouldn't say they dried up, but it's like, you're gonna have to score 2-3 goals every once in a while, like, in order to feel comfortable. They're defensively good enough that's why they get so many draws. They're defensively good enough that it will always keep them in the game, and it will always at least get them a draw. But once the congestion starts figuring it out, that's when it's going to be what happens there. And I think that it's more of a great job of that backline between Bawa and Knutson and Jiba, and I forgot who their center back is. Like, that back 5 is doing exactly what they need to do. And now it is kind of on the Connor Doyles, the Britos, the Skierseys, eventually Gill. And, like, I feel like Meza has just disappeared. And he's a guy that I figured would have kind of come on and, like, really been that spark plug that he was at the beginning of the season, and he just hasn't been.
Well, he's been moved around all over the place, too. He played attacking mid for a couple of games because they moved him into the midfield. I mean, I think, it's just they can't get out of their own half sometimes. They just can't find a way out. And, I mean, and that, when you think about the Greenville game in particular, like, I was there, so I just think about that one a lot. But, like, some of their best attacking play came from the backs, the fullbacks. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, the best shot of the game, realistically for me, when I'm thinking back to it, and, obviously that happened a while ago, so maybe I'm wrong, but Isaac Bawa shot a cross goal that just trickled by the far post. I mean, like, Isaac Bawa, the right back, had their best chance of the game. And
like, I'm not going to say Union Omaha's not making the playoffs. Like, I'm not going that far. I still think there'll be a playoff team. They'll probably have a home playoff game. But again, it's kind of like what I said and what you said, Brandon. No one fears them, and that's why it's like, yeah, they might make the playoffs and get this home playoff game, but they could easily crash out the first game that they play because the attack is just not doing enough. And once you get to playoff time, weird shit happens. And all it takes is one ridiculous wonder strike. If they play Chattanooga, all it's going to take is a Chattanooga wonder strike to turn the fortunes on them. Or if they play Charlotte, God knows, Charlotte will continuously attack them. And how long can you hold that shape? There's definitely there's definitely teams where it's like, they're going to do some wild shit. Can you find a way to get the goal that you need to stay in the game? And I don't know if they have the attack to do that.
Yeah, very much so. And this is the crazy thing about it. I feel like Union Omaha just needs like a good 5-0 win, and then everyone will be like, Union Omaha's there. So far, then
they'll complain, why can't we do that all season?
Yeah, this is awesome. Their biggest win so far, I believe, is I think it was either a 3-1 or a 3.
I think it was 3. I think it was like their home opener.
Yeah, it was a Fuego.
Yep.
And that was not 3, and that was like late goals as well. Like, that was not 3. It was not like a consistent, like, dominant 3-0. It was like something. I feel like Fuego got like a red card, and then like it just went off the rails for them and something like that.
Yep. And so far last year, so this is an interesting thing that I look at. Brandon, I'm not as good with stats as you, sir. But I try my best. Last year, Union Omaha was tied for number 1 in USL League 1 with 44 goals scored. Only gave up 22 goals. So you're scoring kind of 2-to-1 ratio at that point. Mm-hmm. This year, 18-13. They're on pace so far to only have 33 goals. So you're right, 11 goal drop off. And then on top of that as well, that's so much the kind of 2-to-1 ratio they had last year. Granted, they lost a historic amount of talent, but still. Oh, you're right, Kyle. The offense got to get kicking soon. It has to. if Union Omaha wants to challenge for those top spots. But
I did want to ask.
yeah,
Last episode we talked about the panic button, and we had Fuego as it's sitting there. They're not pressing it, but it's sitting there.
Kyle, hold the content. We're coming to that, sir.
All right. I wasn't sure if we were. I didn't know if we were still talking about Omaha. If we were done with that.
No. We'll talk. Trust me. I got you, Kyle. I'm back. I know I've been away for a month, but the noble host of the show is back. And this is like the perfect time to let me just say this. I give Chip, Kyle, Brandon, Eb, you guys have done a tremendous job since I've been out on vacation. And I thank you guys for allowing me to do a vacation because Lord knows I need it after the year I had teaching. But we have a lot of amazing content coming up. We've done amazing interviews. I think we interview almost every team outside of Greenville.
We still have not had someone from Greenville.
Oh,
and Charlotte.
Yeah,
Greenville. And we have an amazing interview coming up with USLW Spokane. They are a real team. They did not just dump out the league like Fort Wayne. So,
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
That just quietly just like happened.
Yeah.
My guess, and I'm just going to put this out there, I think they're looking at MLS League 2.
You think so?
I mean, not League 2, Next Pro.
Yeah,
whatever.
MLS Next Pro.
Who's their owner again?
DeMarcus.
I was going to say, DeMarcus Beasley is part of it.
Yes. So that would make sense.
Because I think the rumor just came out today that Jacksonville Almarta was looking to go to MLS Next Pro, which is like, all right, that's cool, but you kind of like cutting one foot off to be like, hey, we're with the cool kids now. Doesn't look good.
I'm
kind of weird.
I don't know. This whole MLS Next Pro, League One, championship thing, like, I get it, right? Like, I get why the MLS is wanting to do something like this. And, like, I can't even fault any team for wanting to go and be a part of that, right? Because you automatically have the name recognition that comes with the MLS. Like, the Jacksonville Armada go from being a NASL to, NPSL backup squad to all of a sudden having the MLS backing them, right? Like, that's really big. And that's not really my concern. I think the thing that it really bothers me is just how fractured soccer is here in this country, like as far as like how and I guess it's always going to be this way, and it's probably this way all over the world, and just how money fueled it is and how not on the same page we are. Like, I don't, whatever, if you want to play Red Bulls 2 every week, that's fine, right? Like, whatever, it's going to be tough. I mean, you've got to play against literally some of the best academies in the country. So, I mean, honestly, the level of soccer is still going to be tough. But at the same time, like, I just wish, and this is probably a pipe dream, that we were more on the same page in this country for soccer.
We all hope that.
Well, the thing is just more like you can't have 3 leagues in the same tier. Like, that's the problem. Like, it can't work to have 3 teams. And obviously, and with the growing expansion, it's like, okay, now you're going to have expansion teams. Do you go to MLS Next Pro where there's not really going to, like, you're not going to really get, it's got the name appeal, but it's not like you're going to draw in fans. It's not like you're going to get, the same atmosphere you would get if you went to USL or even NISA. USL obviously has its own flaws, and the expansion fees are probably like a barrier for a lot of people. And then there's NISA, which doesn't have the barriers to entry, but it's such a shit show of an organization and league that it's like, do you really want to join that? And the possibility of the whole thing folding within like a year. And it's just like, this is why I don't even care about the pro rel aspect. This is where just US soccer just needs to be like, okay, no, here's tier 1. MLS is tier 1. USL Championship is tier 2. Or like, here's tier 1, here's tier 2, here's tier 3. And if you can't do any of those tiers, you go to tier 4 with like the NPSLs and the, amateur cup, like the amateur league and the Midwest Premier League. That's what your tier 4 is, just your fuck it, do whatever you want, run on whatever league you want. But if you want to get to, a professional status, it needs to be 1 league.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But as we all know, we live in a country that loves to dump his head in the toilet and be like, ooh, mommy, I'm playing with dog shit. That's the kind of country we live in. All right. Before we talk about these games that are coming up, let's reset. Let's refocus. Let's talk about one possible Coach of the Year candidates because we're kind of at the 2/3 point of the season. Let's talk about teams that we have the confidence in. Kyle, it's time to bring back the good old confidence meter. So let's start off with Coach of the Year candidates. I'm going to throw out 3 names, 3 people that I think should be in the running for Coach of the Year. And we'll see if you guys agree with me or not. Number 1, Darren Sawatsky should be in the running for Coach of the Year. Number 2, Ian Cameron, South Georgia Tormenta. Number 3, I'm throwing this one out there. I can't believe I'm saying his name again. Mr. John Hartz.
There it is. It's nice.
How do we feel about those 3 names, guys?
I would have no issue with those 3 as of right now. Granted, we'll see how the season ends up because I could see a flip where maybe Jay Mims gets himself in the conversation of Omaha play well. I could see Zayed come in if Noko can figure out this home form. I could see John Bradford if NCFC keeps itself alive and contends for the playoff. I could see Matt Glazer if Ford Madison makes a like. There's so many other coaches that could jump up there if they just get the results they need. But as of right now, I have no argument with those 3 options.
So I will say this. This is who I have in a bubble. I have J Mims, but that also factors in how much are we factoring the U.S. Open Cup run, or are we looking at that as something totally different? Because if we're looking at it as something totally different, it's just going based on USL League 1 form, he's not in the conversation. But if we throw in the U.S. Open Cup, I think his name should be on there.
He's on the bubble just because it depends on what Omaha does with their games in hand.
True. All right. Another coach that I have in the bubble, I'm going to put it out there. I can't remember his name, but Charlotte Independence head coach. Just because season expectations to what they are now, I think it's pretty good. Like, if they finish anywhere between, I think, 8th and 5th, there's a legit chance he can win Coach of the Year based on what we all thought going into the start of the year. Like, we thought they were going to be FC Tucson, and it's not it. And another coach that I'll put out there, I think we all agree, is Imam Zayed, Noko. Right now, sitting at 8th, out of the teams that are out of the playoffs, they have the most games played at 20. But I think given the circumstances of what he dealt with, I think if this team, between them and Central Valley Fuego, I think if Noko gets it, it looks better versus Central Valley Fuego that I think we all agreed they were the playoff team out of the new league teams that came in. So, any dark horses you guys have out there?
I'm still throwing Matt Glazer on there just in case Ford Madison goes on a run. And I'm going to use bias, but I do think he would legitimately have a shot if Ford Madison. Because you got to also remember, Ford Madison was down bad last year, and he comes in and brings the team back into at least being competitive.
So let me ask you this, Kyle. And this is not me asking this as a Richmond fan. This is me asking this as a USL League 1 reporter, I promise you.
Yeah.
Does Glazer get the nomination if Ford Madison just scrapes into the playoffs? Or does he have to get into the playoffs convincingly?
I would say convincingly.
Okay. So pretty much he has to have the playoffs clinched by the last 2 weeks?
I would say he would need to be – it would have to be Ford Madison finishes 3 or 4, or if they finish 5th, it's quite a distance between like 6th and 7th. Okay.
And for me,
and that would just for him to be like a candidate. I don't think he would win, but that would just at least put him in that conversation.
I think I think Madison's gonna have to score some more and get more touch, get into the box more. Just it seems like that's a real sticking point for the team. So for me, like if he makes it to the playoffs and y'all end up scoring 40 goals, great. Like, I think he's in the conversation. But, like, right now, even if y'all make it to the playoffs, and even if y'all it's just one of those things where there's a clear obstacle right now to the team getting too far into the playoffs because of that. And if he can solve that, for me, he's in. He's in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, this is the part of the show that I've been waiting for. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about these confidence ratings. So we'll exclude FC Tucson because they are not making it into the playoffs, despite what they tweeted. In order to make it into the playoffs, let's just say, for the sake of argument, they win out the rest of their games? Let's see. Let me do the math real quick.
I mean, that'd be that would help.
A hell of a run. A hell of a run. But we're also talking about a team that has yet to
that's
win
getting them
game.
39 points.
We're talking about a team that has yet to win a home game. So, guys, confidence meter. When does FC Tucson win a home game? Or will they be the first ever? Let me back up. Let me back up. What do you have more confidence in? FC Tucson going winless at home? FC Tucson ending the season on 30 points or more? What do you have more confidence in?
I'm looking at their
fact
schedule
that you two
right
are
now.
silent is hilarious.
I'm looking at their schedule and I'm like, okay, I think they can win. I think they'll win a home game. I have more faith that they would be closer to 30 than they would going winless at home. Like, they have some games they can win at home. Like, they have Charlotte. They have Chattanooga, who they seemingly can beat with no problem. They do have Fuego. That could be a win. The last game of the season, Ford Madison. Who knows where Ford Madison will be? Maybe they go and say, you know what, let's just rest key players, and Tucson can get an opportunity there. So I think there is an opportunity. I do think Tucson will win a home game. Don't ask me which one.
Is this the bullshit I come into?
No. So you missed it. So we're doing confidence rankings. So I'm gonna ask you a question about a team.
Okay.
Tell me which one you have more confidence. Maybe, guys. Maybe because Chip loves content because he puts it in the goddamn chat every fucking day. Maybe some content we can do.
Okay.
So I asked the question again. FC Tucson. What do you have more confidence in? Tucson winning a home game or going winless at home, or FC Tucson ending the season on 30 points or more? What do you have more confidence in?
I think they can still a home game.
FC Tucson getting 30 points or more. I have more confidence in that than them winning a home game.
I think they can sneak a home game somewhere. And it's going to be a stupid home game, too. It's going to be like Tucson versus like fucking Omaha or Greenville. Like someone at the top of the table that they absolutely have no reason to win against. Everyone's going to be like, what the fuck is this?
So, okay, these are their home games. And give me a thumbs up if you think they can win this game.
Okay.
Greenville. Okay.
No.
Charlotte. Now, Charlotte owes the lead. Charlotte's 2-0 against them.
It's still, we can never trust Charlotte defensively enough.
That part. Neither one has defense.
Neither one defensively enough.
Right.
Right. Union Omaha. Okay.
Because all it would take is 1-0 for Tucson. All they would need is score one goal and they could probably beat Omaha. I'll do this.
Chattanooga.
No, I'm
Really? Okay. I'm going down.
you don't mind.
Fuego.
I think they can win that one.
Fuego? Yeah. There's your one win right there.
All right. Madison. So really, we're putting it on Chattanooga, Union, or Fuego.
I see Fuego out of all three of those. I will give it to Fuego. Fuego will fuck that up. And it's gonna
I
be
can
like
see
2-1.
Chattanooga because they've beaten Chattanooga on the road twice. So
this
they'll
is
have
home.
confidence.
This is home, sir.
Yeah,
Here's
but that's
the
my
thing.
point.
Here's my interesting stat and why I think they can beat Chattanooga. All right, so last year, we were talking about it's not just Charlie Dennis and Shaq Adams that Tucson has lost. Last year, people pressed Tucson like crazy. This year, Tucson is the least pressed team in the league.
Why? Because they can rate their own mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's sitting back and letting them do their thing. But Chattanooga's not going to do that. They are going to press them into the ground until finally Gio Clickster receives the ball, is able to turn around and get the ball into whoever is happens to be up front that day, who makes a running back run and stiff arms someone into the ground so that Gio can score a top corner curler.
Oh, that hurt, sir. That hurt.
You know what? The odds of that happening is probably very, very true. All right. We move on to our next confident question, guys. You guys ready? And we bring up your beautiful team. Which, by the way, we haven't talked about that game. We'll talk about it real quick, but we got to finish this confidence thing.
Okay.
NCFC, confidence.
Okay.
Who finishes with more goals? Olex Anderson, Grant McLaughlin. Who finishes with more?
I'm confident that Garrett will finish with more.
Okay.
And it's only because Olex, like, they're both kind of like in that like transition of like, are we starting? Are we not starting? We've got a weird stretch of games coming up, so it's kind of like, who are you putting your faith in? Olex is playing great. He's being that great menace to society right now. So he's not scoring, but he's putting people in a position to score, as we saw last night. But Garrett is the one that's on the finishing end of it. So I think the way that they play, Garrett will finish with more goals.
Especially if they stick with one striker.
Yeah.
And he's a penalty taker.
Right.
All right. Well, I hope Grant finishes with more because right now he's my golden boot winner. And if him and Ian Cameron win, just know I will host a 90-minute show by myself, gloating. I swear to God.
I've already lost my coach of the year. I've already been out. I'm out on coach of the year, so that's a dud.
Who's your coach of the year again?
He's suspended.
He's
Oh, damn.
Name redacted.
Someone that has appeared on the show.
Woo!
Down bad, bro. Down bad.
You got a big man. All right. Next confidence rating. We go on to Central Valley Fuego. I'll ask you guys this question.
Okay.
Do you have more confidence in Fuego will have a multi-game losing streak again or a multi-game winning streak? Which one would they have more? Which one do you have more confidence?
Hold on. I got to look at what they have left. Hold on.
So
My
I'll
gut
tell you
says losing streak.
So right now they have NCFC on the road, Richmond at home, Tormenta at home, Tucson home, NCFC on the road again, Charlotte home, Madison at home, on the road to Richmond, NoCo home, Tucson on the road, you're Omaha on the road. So
losing streak. Be confident in the losing streak, bro.
More confident in the losing streak? Right now they
Yeah.
have multiple game losing streaks. But they also have multiple game winning streaks.
Where do you...
They've had one winning streak in the league. And that was back in July. That was a month ago where they won 1-0 against NoCo and then beat Richmond in that 3-1. I don't know what Richmond was deciding to do besides rack up red cards.
Everybody got to take a rest. We were tired.
I'm going to say losing streak just because I'm looking at Richmond, then Tormenta is rough.
What are we considering a streak? Like 3 or more, 4 or more?
Or just literally 2 games.
Wiggles form 2. Because they like to go back to back. If they lose, they go lose the next. And if they win, they go win the next or draw.
So I'm going to say a streak is 3 or more games. And
losing.
Yeah.
Losing, yeah. I don't see them stringing together 3 wins anywhere within this.
Which is crazy because they have some incredible players.
All right.
But we're at this point where we're like losing streak. I mean, like I'm incredibly confident that there's going to be a losing streak, which is insane to me, considering the players they have on that team.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
All right. So we go to NoCo. I asked you guys this question: what do you have more confidence in? Arthur Rogers winning the assist leader in USL League 1, or Imar Zayed winning Coach of the Year?
Assist leader, no doubt. Arthur Rogers is getting that. That's done.
All right.
That's true or not?
Wait. Let me double check. Let me just double check. I'm checking the stats.
Right now, Arthur is tied for 7 with Bolaños. In assists. He's tied for 7.
Yeah, I'll go assist.
Assist, yeah.
Okay. I feel the same way, but I feel like if Arthur wins assist, I feel like Zayed.
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, can win Coach of the Year, but if Iman wins Coach of the Year, you know Arthur had to win the assist leader, right? In order for him to win the assist leader, Zayed had to win Coach of the Year. So
Yeah, but no. Because he can win assist leader, but Coach of the Year has definitely got to go to kickers, right?
We literally just talked about that.
Right before you got on.
Okay.
Literally just talked about that. I think the top 3 that we all agreed on was right now is between Darren, John, and
Ian Cameron.
Yeah, Ian Cameron. Those are the top 3. And then Bubble is Charlotte, Zion, and J Mims, and Ford Madison. Those are on the bubble right now.
Yeah.
All right.
But
guys, we go on to Kyle, your favorite team, the Dirty Birds, Ford Madison. Kyle, I'll start over you. Are you more confident in Matthew Cazzini's late MVP push, or what's your goalkeeper's name again?
Rosarena.
Rosarena having more than 3 clean sheets.
I'll go with the clean sheets.
Woo!
I'm going with him coming in has shifted the defense into being more reliable. Last night, notwithstanding, last night was a different story. Olex just terrorized them. But
I will say, last night, that ref was shit for everyone. Nobody won in that situation because the ref was so bad.
I was going to mention that later. But yeah, I would go Rosarena getting 3 clean sheets and potentially winning a Golden Glove.
Doesn't he already have 3 clean sheets?
He has.
I think he has 3.
Is that over both leagues or?
He has 3 in USL League 1.
Okay.
Phil Brino had 1. Rosarena has 3 already.
Okay. Who are they against?
The 3, Charlotte in a 0-0 this past Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Omaha a 0-0 a couple weeks ago at home, and then Tormenta.
Yeah.
So since he's gotten there, Ford Madison's only conceded 3 goals, and 2 of them are last night. In the 1, 2, 3, 4, in the 5 games. In 5 games, they've only conceded 3 goals.
That's not bad at all, actually.
Yeah, and like I said, 2 of them were last night. 1 is a pen, and 1 was bullshit, whatever.
Well, we'll take a pause from the confidence range. We'll come back to it. But let's take a moment. Let's talk about, since Ab is on the show now.
Hi.
Let's talk about NCFC 2 for Madison 1. Kyle, not going to lie, I laughed at the last minute goal because what the fuck happened? But also, what the fuck happened, Kyle?
Bro, that game was stupid.
It's haunted. The state's haunted. North Carolina's haunted. That's it. That's all.
No, don't put that evil on us. That
State's
was
haunted.
That was not us. That was so. The craziest part was that she called an offside on a throw-in. I was like, wait a minute.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. At that moment, I had to look at the blood and be like, bro, am I there, huh?
Well, they did the throw-in, and then she, blows the whistle. I was like, oh, maybe they don't, have it. Maybe they got to rethrow it. I was like, nope, Ford Mass has the ball. I was like, what?
She called him offside. I was like, bruh, ain't no fucking way. And then it was in the first half. It was it was towards the end of the half. She points at the spot, and they're like, everyone was like, penalty. And then your keeper stays down for 2 minutes, and then she goes, nah, actually, we're gonna give it a goal kick. And we're like, what?
Because she called the penalty. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
I thought I was hallucinating because I was like, she just called a penalty, right? And everyone was like, yes, whoa! And then
I was sitting there, I was like, where's this penalty coming from?
And then she was like, and then it was 2 minutes later, and then she was like, not goal kick. And we were like, the fuck?
But that last minute, despite being down to 10 men, Ford Madison, String had a clear, like he got the ball, got the turn, had a good chance. Holiday with a fantastic save.
Right. I was so happy for Holiday because, like, he got his chance and he lived up to the task.
Then it gets Eric Leonard. Bullshit, no call on the foul. And then North Carolina completely counter.
The box where Oleg said he cut your dude up, and then it went through, 3-4 Madison players and a goalkeeper laying on the ground to a guy.
I think it definitely went through one defender and the keeper.
It was
because the defender tried lunging in right outside the box, and Olex just jumped over and kept going.
So my favorite part was that the penalty that was called in the 45th minute, or 46th minute, literally 30 seconds in, he got 2 more fouls like that, and she said, "Nah, not a penalty." I was like, "What?" It
was just the inconsistent. It was, oh my god, that's what frustrated me more.
It was just a bunch of bullshit. And then it was the goalkeeper collision.
That one I was more like, okay, fine. That was a 50. It was a lot close. In real time, it definitely looks like a clear pen, but on the replay, it was definitely more of a 50-50.
He got there first. Even on the replay, he got there first.
That one I could say is more 50-50.
Oh.
It's not like the other non-penalty calls that were happening.
And then it was the handball in the fucking box. I was like, yo.
And then Mikey's bullshit second yellow.
Hal's been waiting for this. He's been waiting for you to get on so he can talk about this.
I was like, oh my god.
Ford Madison was the better team the first half. North Carolina was the much better team the second half.
I will agree with that.
State's haunted. Ref sucks.
And there we go. So, there we go. All right, we'll move on to the next 3 teams in our confidence meeting rankings before we move on to the games coming up this week. So we start off with Charlotte. I'll give you guys this question. Confidence rating. What do you have more confidence in? Charlotte having multiple goal wins or multiple goal losses?
Multiple goal losses.
I can see you struggling with this one, buddy.
It's not a fair question.
You're right, because
so this is the thing.
Both could happen.
Yeah.
Let me throw in this caveat. At home, Charlotte has scored 22 goals and let in 13, which is not bad for a home team. On the road, they have scored 7 and let in 21.
Damn.
And I will say, here's their upcoming schedule. At Tormenta, at Omaha, home against Chat, home against Tormenta, at Tucson, home against Greenville, at Fuego, home against NCFC, at Chattanooga, at Greenville, home against NCFC. I'm just saying, there's a lot of high potential.
Played them this year, along with North Carolina. I root for all kinds of stupidity and chaos.
See, the problem is we've literally seen, I was saying, which will have more at the end of the season, mostly goal wins.
Let me put it this way: what do you have more confidence in? Charlotte having more games than these last stretch of games where there are multiple goal wins or multiple goal losses?
Do they lose another player back to Charlotte FC or no? That's my main question. Does Chris Hager, does he go back to Charlotte FC? If he does, then yes. If they lose Adrian,
the whole team's going to Charlotte FC at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I think it depends on that. If they lose more players to Charlotte again, then yeah, they're more losses. If they can keep a hold of some of these players for more than 3 games, wins.
My real question is, well, that's a big part of it. But the other part of it has to be what Charlotte team is coming out. Because again, have they signed anyone to help with their back line?
Another goalkeeper.
But who's in front of the goalkeeper?
Another goalkeeper.
That's the one position that hasn't changed all year, I don't think.
Right. So they're getting into the part of the season where you're playing some of these teams you've already played. And so they know how you play. They know your style. They know how to shut you down because they've already done it.
Yeah.
So how are you changing that up? So I lean more towards losses. And that's not just me being like, fuck Charlotte hater. That's me being like, they cannot sustain this much longer.
And they did bring in a new midfielder this week, so that could help. And then also, Corey Bennett is like tearing it up all of a sudden. So if he keeps that up, I don't know, man.
Brandon is like, I don't know how to answer this question with a stat. So we'll leave that one up to the Twitter universe. Next question I have for you. Kind of probably you can guess what this one's going. But Union Omaha, what do you have more confidence in? Union Omaha being in the top 3 in their season end? Or Union Omaha missing out on the top 4 in their season end? Right? Like we said before, they're tied with the most games in hand and
Top 3.
So more top 3?
I'm going to say they just make the playoffs.
Yeah, just make the playoffs. That's where I'm leaning.
All right.
They're a good team. They still just can't score. So
And they got a crazy schedule.
no.
All right. So last thing before we talk about the games coming up, we talk about Tormenta. What do you have more confidence in? Kaya Sterling making a late push for the Golden Boot, or Pablo Yara making a late push for the Golden Glove?
Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling. 100%. Like, I don't think he gets it, but I definitely think he winds up in like second or third.
There's just too much competition for the Golden Glove.
So right now, Sterling sits on 6 goals. That puts him in 9th place. For the Golden Glove, and I'm pulling it up right now, so give me a second. Pablo sits at 4 with 4 clean sheets. The goalkeepers that are ahead on Akira, Paul Christensen, Rashid Nuhu.
Yeah, I don't think he passes like Akira at all. So I feel like Sterling's gonna make that push because he's got to play Charlotte twice, and Fuego. So there's a lot of goals to score there.
2 goals ahead, right?
Right. No. I don't see that happening. He's not gonna get it.
Well, I was gonna say Tormenta hasn't had a clean sheet since the beginning of July.
And that was Central Valley. Yeah.
And right now, Yara sits 5th and save percentage at 60%.
Yeah, not
Nuhu, can anyone guess what Nuhu's save percentage is?
It's probably like 70 or 80.
It's 78%.
Wow, Brandon. Okay.
Like, fucking good. All right. So real quick, we're running. Let's go ahead and talk about these games coming up. We'll go out down to Raleigh, starting with a 5:00 kickoff because they decided to do a doubleheader. And like most teams in America should do, they put the better team on last. NCFC plays Fuego. Guys, real quick, what are we expecting in this matchup?
I'll be drunk at 3:00, so
not much.
Yeah. Not a lot. They just played fucking Wednesday, and now they got to play Saturday at 5. So I'm expecting a lot of shutdown. Everybody keep your head about you and like either win 1-0 or tie 1-1 and get the fuck home.
This is my chaos game of the week. I'm just putting that out there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm expecting 4 goals.
Yeah.
I mean, you might see
how many times have we seen Fuego go nuclear? And then how many times have we also seen NCFC go nuclear?
See, I don't want it to be the chaos game because
it's gonna be. It's inevitable. You can't stop.
It's gonna happen.
There's South Georgia and Charlotte right there. Like,
nah, sorry. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it.
Company policy. I can't help you.
This is it.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
This game is not starting at 5.
It has to because Courage has to start at 8.
There will be a delay. There will be a weather delay.
No. See, there can't be because I'm starting drinking at 1:45.
That's not a personal problem.
And I have challenged several people to several games of like flip cup and beer pong, and I now have to shotgun a beer because I shotgun one on Wednesday and we won. So there cannot be a delay. I cannot drink that much.
Right now, we're looking at only a 10% chance of rain on Saturday in Raleigh.
I can't do it. We're not doing this.
It's gonna happen. Just be ready for it. All right. Next game we got coming up. Another 1 versus 2 matchup. Does Richmond avoid shitting the bed for the second time against Greenville? Or did Greenville get things right back on track after another ass kicking before they play Richmond? What do we expect in this matchup, guys?
I have no idea.
I expect 2 teams to literally just be like, we're 1 and 2.
I was gonna say 1-1 draw.
Yeah. Like,
I will say this. If there's any road game that I have confidence in Richmond winning ever, it's Greenville. That is the only place where I have confidence in us picking up a road win.
I was gonna say I feel like this might be a good chance for us to turn things around. I think we might win. It's gonna be close.
Ooh, I'm liking this.
I will say this. I think this game, outside of the last game of the season, which is Richmond Green, which is going to be very, very good. Brandon, you coming off of that game? You got to. We might just have to do a USL League 1 in-person show for that game.
Right.
Because it might be that good. But this game here, it can go 1 or 2 ways. And I will tell you this right now. If Richmond wins this game, I firmly believe they put one hand on that 1 seed. If Greenville wins this game, Greenville put a firm hand on that 1 seed. If it's a draw, it's about to become a 3-horse race if Union Omaha can win these games or not.
We can't have a draw.
No. Somebody has to win.
No prisoners. Okay. Well, so that's not your chaos game? You're going to push chaos on me? You know what?
No, because
for a good reason. We don't want it.
I don't fucking want it.
Look, this is the reason why Richmond and Greenville can't be chaos. Out of the 8 games that we have played, only 2 games have been separated by 2 goals. The last 2, which is split between us and Greenville. There has not been much in this game.
I say that about Chattanooga and us too, though.
I'm sorry. Next game we got coming up, the game that everybody believes should be the chaos game because the last game was a 0-0 draw. Tormenta, Charlotte. Guys, what do we think about this one?
I got 2 teams with no defense and 2 forwards that are on semi-hot streaks. But, don't know for sure. Kyle, are you okay?
No. This internet fucking sucks. So I'm trying to move closer to the router.
Oh.
Kyle has been back to 2010.
We are not having a good time over here.
So, I think that we should just call this chaos and say 5-4 someone. Don't know who.
No. Your game is chaos. Stop it.
I disagree, actually.
Thank you, Kyle.
I think this game will be 5-4, but not chaotic. I think this will be like the best. This will be either the best game of the season or the worst game of the season.
Which game are we talking about, by the way?
I'm going
Tormenta versus Charlotte.
These are already 2 chaotic franchises. They're going to cancel each other out.
No. This is going to be a vibes. This is a vibes game.
What?
Yes.
This is going to be no defending, all attack. It's going to be entertaining. This is vibes.
It's going to be incredible.
Honestly, let's look at that. Let's talk about this. We're talking about a mediocre home team in Tormenta who is, 8th in the table right now at home wins? And a historically bad road team in Charlotte that has gave up 21 goals on the road.
Yeah, it's just going to be all attack and vibes. Like, it's fine.
It's probably going to be 1-0 with like a Cass Sterling 23rd minute header. And that's it. Meanwhile, up in Raleigh, I got Olex Anderson out here scoring 3 and Victor Flock out here just shooting hat tricks.
Bro.
It's a Richmond derby in Raleigh, okay? It's going to happen.
No, the only chaotic thing about North Carolina, Fuego, is it's not starting on time.
It has no choice but to start on time, okay?
No, there's going to be a weather delay again.
Chill out.
It's not even rain. There's just going to be a weather delay. It's too nice.
Hurry up.
We've got to watch the sunset before we can start this game. Sorry, there's a delay. We've got a weather delay. It's beautiful outside.
As soon as Olex scores, 30-minute wait. Oh man. Also, real quick, on where we're talking about this, what is with former Richmond players coming to USL League One back again? Because what's his name? He was playing in Detroit minutes. Ronnie Kraft just signed with Chattanooga. That's like the 3rd former Richmond kicker. Annoying.
Stop having players.
That's good, and now they're coming back. But we didn't make any money off of it, which sucks. Game coming up, Kyle. I'm pretty sure you're going to be in this game. Fort Madison, Chattanooga. How do we think this is going to play out? Because let's be real about this. Both teams kind of need a win, and not in a bad way, but kind of need a win, right?
I'll take Ford Madison winning at home.
Ooh.
2-1.
Oh. Against Chatta?
I will say this. Kyle is on something. Chattanooga is an average road team, while Madison is above average home team.
I think Cassini will be available, which will be a huge boost to them. I think they will make sure to not lose the midfield battle against Chattanooga. And they're going to isolate Galindres. They're going to do what they did to Bilev and Terzaghi and we're just not going to let this guy beat us. 2-1 Madison.
That's the problem, though. Like, you saw against Greenville, they didn't care about. I mean, Galindres was fine. He did well. But, man, it was everybody else.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to start Rafa Metz. If they start Metz again, then I'll be a little concerned. But I do think 2-1. I think Ford Madison, they will, because both teams need it and Ford Madison will be at home, that will be the decisive factor. This is low-key. This could potentially be a chaos game of the week. It's a dark horse candidate for chaos game.
See?
Because these two teams, when they play each other, it gets chippy.
I can see a red card coming in, but that doesn't qualify for chaos.
Confidence meter. Do we get the red card graphic back? Can you talk to someone about that, Kyle?
I can run it by and see what happened with the red card.
I missed that the other day. Yesterday. It was really disappointing. No graphic.
All right. Last game to close out Saturday, y'all. Union Omaha finally gets a home game, so Chip can be a good father and be home. They are home against NOCO.
That's pure vibes.
Chaos.
That's pure vibes.
Chaos.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. You know how I talked about Union Omaha having that 5-0 win, and it just kind of settles everything? It's coming here.
This is pure vibes.
It's coming here.
This is going to be chaotic because here's what's going to happen. Rogers is going to create something. It's going to allow a NOCO goal. Omaha fans are going to absolutely lose their shit, potentially storm the field. Game gets delayed because of it. Parliament is off the rails. Game gets delayed. Omaha comes back, it gets one goal, and then NOCO's going to get a late goal. And then we're going to see a Twitter meltdown. 2-1 NOCO. Chaos.
Wow. You built that whole thing. Are you a football manager? What's happening right now?
I'm just saying, this shouldn't be chaotic, which means it's going to be chaotic.
Kyle, I'm gonna tell you how this game is gonna play out. And let me just throw this out there. Noco has not won in their last 5 away games.
Which means it's time for a win away.
No.
Because this league, it doesn't make sense.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Corey Hotzig, who is known for smuggling drugs and whatnot through the Channel of France.
What in the world?
That's the only way how he got to Union Omaha. That's the only way.
What?
You know how legal teams like.
I will stand on this. That there was some kind of corruption charge. Jay Mills paid someone underneath the table. He will start. He will score a goal. Mensa will score 2 goals. Louis Gill will score another 2. Arthur Rogers will not have an assist nor a goal. 5-0 Union Omaha. There we go. If this happens, just know in 2 weeks' time I'm coming to this show and I'm going like a motherfucker. Going like shit. Just letting y'all know this.
Matter of fact, he's gonna have his own show next Thursday. He don't even tell us that it's happening. We just all get a notification that we're live, and we're like, "What?" and it's Yogi just smoking on camera, talking about, "I run this shit." For a whole
Meanwhile,
show.
me and Corey Hodgson are just over here just cutting up cocaine to pay back his transfer fee. The story gets wilder. Until these temporary charges come into fruition. I am making this story more elaborate.
Why are all these teams on RICO charges? What's happening?
Well, because John Hartz can no longer go to Charlotte or DC.
Why not Charlotte?
Figure out a way how to push the story through now.
Whoa, when did we rule out Charlotte?
Because we did. Just move on. What are you doing? Bringing it up?
New York's about to be available. Like, come on now. We'll just keep them going up I-95. We got it.
Yeah, Gotham has an opening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Netherlands national team.
Let's go ahead and put that rumor out there. I got you, Yogi.
John Harks for the Netherlands national team. Netherlands women's national team.
John Harks to Gotham. You heard it here first.
They need something.
You know, he came up to me at the game in Richmond, and he was like, "Ellie, why do you keep putting me with all these teams?" Because I'm like, I need you to go. I'm tired of you. It's too damn good. Just go. Yeah. All right. Let's put on these confidence ratings before we close out. We left off at Chattanooga, right? Yep, Chattanooga.
Oh, did we? I thought we finished all the teams.
No, we didn't do the top 3 yet.
Oh shit.
All right. So Chattanooga, what do you have more confidence in? What's the striker name again? Because I'm about to put you.
Lindress.
Lindress. Does he win the Golden Boot, or does Chattanooga have a new head coach next year?
We know Kyle's answer. He has to answer one way.
I'm sticking with my preseason Golden Boot pick. Damn it! That still has a chance.
This has slowly been getting worse and worse.
Wait, what were the options? Golden Boot or what?
Golden Boot or new head coach next year?
New head coach, confident.
Yeah, I just can't see there being a way that they. I mean, just with all the drama, even if everything comes to, if they decide he's innocent, which I don't think he'll stay.
I think he's too talented for other teams to not want him. So
I agree. He's a good head coach. It's like each month a different Chattanooga starter comes down. Next month, maybe they pay for Corey Hodgson's transfer fee with illegal corn funds. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I said Golden Boot at the beginning of the season. I gotta stick with it.
I heard it was 13 players.
Corey Hodgson's even a real player. Like, has anyone ever really seen him?
When it was 13.
Maybe he's just, there for certain packages to be picked up. Just saying. I've never really seen him.
Why are you?
Because, goddammit, it was temporary charges.
Bro, Peter Marley is on the phone right now.
Oh my god.
His
You know
entire
what? The FBI broke down Mar-a-Lago. They need to go goddamn bust down the doors of you at Omaha. Something was so official when you got a baseball team and a soccer team playing in the same stadium, and ain't there been no goddamn confusion.
And this is the end of the show. One way or the other, this show is now ending. Either we are cracking a case, or we are going to get someone is going to find a way to get us shut down.
This could be the single greatest piece of journalism that has ever happened. Or
It's 10:48 at night on the East Coast, and we're cracking cases.
or we're all in prison tomorrow.
Exactly. There's no in between.
No,
my
no.
God.
Oh, shit.
I'm so serious, yo. I swear. If it comes out at the end of the year that Corey Hodson and you don't get caught up with some goddamn tampering
It's not
charges,
gonna happen.
I will be so.
Oh God.
You know what could at least waited 2 hours. They think they fans wait what months on end for a first transfer, but within 30 minutes of coming release, you already got a graphic ready, and he's already there. Tampering. Tampering.
Oh.
You're gonna have to look up concave football.
Because he don't know how to run a league. But whoever was USL League, I can't remember his name. I know he's white and he got a bald head. Whatever,
that. Do you understand how little that helps?
he's British, so whatever. But
Same thing.
Whatever happened with Miami's owner needs to happen to you get Omaha. Goddamn tampering charges. They won't out here losing games on purpose. Don't get me wrong. They won
You know, you do realize if you do lead this is going to end the league, right? You're going to shut down the league.
I will feel vindicated.
And then here we all are doing a Nisa show.
Oh God! No, oh my God! No, sir. Next team.
So
Next team.
Chattanooga. No.
All right. Greenville, confidence rating. What do you have more confidence in? Greenville having plus 6. Let me put it like this. All right. What do you have more confidence in? Lugabets winning the Golden Boot or John Hart's leaving at season end?
Or John Hart's what?
Man, Vladovitz is winning the Golden Boot.
I'm going to say the same thing. He is too good to not have several teams coming after him at the end of the season.
Fc Tucson's already flirting with him. Like,
right.
Leave my coach alone.
I'm going new coach. I'm going new coach, not because I don't think Leibovitz can't win the Golden Boot, but I already have my Golden Boot pick, so I gotta go with the other option.
Is that an upgrade or did he get downgraded?
What is MLS Next Pro 2?
I don't know.
It's the other third division league they're starting.
That's gonna compete with USL League 2.
Yeah, maybe Corey Hodson would go to that league and actually become a real player.
That would. There actually, I guess there is a MLS Next, so that would be it.
It's going to compete with USL League 2. We're going to have another fight, where and then some team's going to kick out Des Moines Menace, and that's going to create another shit show. Not like an MLS team would try and kick a USL team out of its market, right?
Right?
Would they do that?
Who would do such a thing?
I must not know who MLS is.
Never.
That's not definitely a controversy that's happening as we speak.
All right. Last team, the team currently on top of the table, confidence rating. Let's go for this, guys. What do you have more confidence in? Jonathan Bolaños winning an MVP or Akira Fitzgerald winning a Golden Glove?
Ooh.
Fitzgerald winning a Golden Glove because I just don't know when Bolaños is coming back, and if he doesn't come back by the end of the season, I just don't see how he has a case.
He came back already. He played 20 minutes against Tucson.
Okay.
I still see Akira like he's probably having one of the best seasons of his life.
But hold on. Golden Glove is just who has the lowest goals average against. That doesn't mean who the best keeper is.
They did change that, yeah.
So, I'm going to go with Bolaños MVP because if he does come back, he has a stronger case. Because that's going to require Richmond to pretty much have one of the best defenses from here on out.
Can they?
Yeah, but they still got to play on the road.
I feel like we have an above average defense. It's not great. It's not like Union Omaha or Greenville level great, but it's like
right.
above average.
But that's also the thing. You have to realize Omaha, Greenville, if Arrizarena continues his form, he's going to be up there for the Golden Glove. Yara, potentially.
Yeah.
I'll say Bolaños MVP.
Because can they include him?
Who?
If he plays enough games, yeah.
Because now,
I think you have to have more than 10. Because that's why the guy from Fire like a couple of years ago he didn't have more than 10 games played.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think
have more than 10.
Yeah, as long as he plays the remainder of the season, he'll be eligible, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna be up there.
Yeah. So I'll say Bolaños MVP.
Well, that was a conference rating. If you would like to answer these questions on Twitter more, please do so. You can find us on Twitter at Walking90, where I will probably be in an angry, yelling tirade about how Corey Hodgson is not a player.
I'm going to wake up to being locked out of the Twitter account, aren't they?
They're shutting the shit down. Twitter has already called its FBI agent and be like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Well, if we ever tweet something bad, Grant Wall will probably be the savior of justice and tell us about how we're not holding teams to accountability. But,
Good
that's
night.
for another day.
And that's how we end. Good night. We'll see you in 2 weeks.